So, I want to come on here and talk about how to find your voice after you've been silenced, after you've been told to be quiet, sit down, shut up. Maybe that was something you heard in your childhood. Maybe if you got spanked for speaking up, speaking the truth, speaking out, or just being like a extroverted kid and just expressing yourself freely. A lot of times, we have parents in our childhood, maybe some of you out there, I don't know how common this is, who think it's best for you to just shut up and sit down, be a good little girl, a good little boy, and not say all these things. I don't know. I can't really relate to that type of parenting. That's not how I would parent my child at all. If I was a parent, if I am going to be a parent in the future, I would want my child to express themselves, especially as a child. You know, that is your power as a child, your voice. So I want to talk about how I found my voice. It took me a while because I went to saying whatever I want, being this extroverted, bright kid, expressing myself, to being punished for it by parents and teachers, and they were saying, it's best to just sit down, stay still, be in class, say yes, teacher, be a robot or whatever. And so some things that helped me find my voice was, honestly, it was those moments where I had to do like presentations in front of the class. I did this in the fourth grade. I got up in front of the class and I cried. It was so embarrassing because I wasn't used to people having all eyes on me and listening to me, wanting to hear me speak. And I was so repressed. I just had so much to say. I just cried. I felt overwhelmed. I was scared. I was terrified. And I remember I went to massage therapy school and I learned so many different things. I learned a lot about energy in massage therapy school. Massage therapy school was a big part of my awakening. And I remember I had to do another presentation in front of the class, a PowerPoint presentation, and my voice was shaking, but I still kept going. And it's like the room was silent, and my teacher was looking at me with so much support. I would never forget that. And I just kept going. And then I started to work in sales. I got a sales job. And this really helped me open my throat chakra because we had to do a speech like every week. It was like some pyramid scheme job. Like, I'm so embarrassed to have that job. I was selling government phones, y'all. I don't know how I came across that. Internet, God. But I liked it because it gave me an opportunity. I think that's why I stuck with it, because it gave me an opportunity to express myself and walk up to people, say what I need to say, try to sell them something. I feel like I intuitively was going towards things I know would help heal my repressed emotions and repressed talents. And I was just like going towards things that could help me. My sales job really helped me because I got to communicate with so many different people. I got to meet different people, and even though I wasn't afraid to speak up, I still didn't know how to express my emotions and be vulnerable. That's something I had to learn. I read books about, I practiced about, went to therapy about, and um also I had to learn how to stand up for myself, not in a way where I would get into an argument, but just a calm way. Like, a lot of times I didn't, because I didn't care or see the person worthy as standing up for myself for. I would be like, oh, this person I don't care about is attacking me. I'll just ignore them. And so I went through life like that a lot. I was like, oh, I don't really take this person seriously. I don't really care that they are trying to one up me. I would just ignore it and keep it pushing. And, I used to look back on those times where I didn't speak up when somebody was like being intentionally mean. And I was like, I don't know, there's sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I had some words for her. I would have said this, and that. And there's other times I'm like, I'm proud of myself from keeping my energy to myself because I had bigger battles to address in the future. Moving on from that sales job, I ended up majoring in communication. And that is a good fit for me. I am 100% a communicator. I am a messenger. That's where my power lies, in my speaking voice, expressing myself, saying what I need to say unfiltered. But I shouldn't include the but. I wish I would have done something that made more money, honestly. But another thing that greatly unleashed my throat chakra, my energy, was to become a news reporter and to be broadcasted, to have my voice be broadcasted. Like that really helped me find my voice. And, I just remember going into the studio after I would get the footage, come back to the news station, I would go in the studio, and I would just unleash my voice. I would put so much emphasis. If I was telling an important story, I would put so much emphasis on telling that story. And I just remember leaving the studio with a high, not because I cared about what I was talking about, but I left the studio with a high because I was able to unleash my voice. I put so much energy into getting the story out there and having that be heard, across a wide range audience. That really made me feel powerful. And that's why I ended up being a news reporter. I felt this intuitive pull to get my voice out there, just to get my voice out there, to have other people hear the frequency of my voice, to get my voice broadcasted. I'm like, people need to hear this. Not about what I'm saying, they just need to hear my frequency. And that was so profound for me. And communicating is such a big thing for me. I'm still working on communicating in relationships, with the opposite sex, because typically less is more. When I just want to be say everything I want to say. So it would be a gift from God to find, a partner who wants me to communicate, because I find that a lot of people, well, from my experiences, I've found that, guys I end up dating on the opposite sex, I feel like they like me to speak less. And that hurts because I've been so repressed vocal wise. I need to express myself whenever I feel the urge to, and I need somebody to be okay with that, to welcome that, to love that. Now I know it's gonna be challenging because it's a lot to take on, It's a lot because I'm a very deep person. I know how to feel my emotions now to the depth of my soul and express that. Like, I need to express that and, like, just let it be known how I feel and everything. And when it's best for me to just stay silent or be more mysterious or say less, I journal it out, but that's still not good enough. I have to speak it. I have to get it out there. That's why I like to come on here sometimes and express my frustrations, even though I look like a crazy person. I don't care. Like, I need to express myself. I need to be heard. This is very, like, healing for me. And singing to the top of my lungs also helps. It would also make me feel so powerful after being in the studio, then going home after work and then turning on the TV and then like watching, not so much watching, but hearing my voice be broadcasted. And it would hit, like I hit the notes and I gave emphasis to the certain words I wanted to, and like just the tone of my voice, hearing my voice on television, that like filled me with so much power. Like, it felt powerful. And like, oh my God, I was like, oh my God, like I always be so excited. Like, I'd be like jumping up and down. like I would love hearing my voice on TV. So some things you can do to strengthen your voice, find your voice. If you've been silenced, if you've been repressed, if you've been told not to talk, to sit still, to be quiet, don't say anything. That's disgusting, first of all. Like, I wouldn't repress any human being like that. Like why? What's the purpose of it? You should be able to express yourself freely. Like, that is your right as a human being to express yourself. I've dealt with so many consequences of it expressing myself. I've gotten in trouble. I've expressed myself on multiple platforms and I've gotten in trouble for it as long as I can remember. And I didn't care. That never stopped me. I came back and I was going to say what I had to say again. And like, freedom of speech is everything. And, you know, that's such a gift that we cannot let go to waste. Like, we only have so much time here on this earth. We need to talk. We need to express. We need to say what we need to say. You know that song, Say What You Need to Say, because it'll be too late. I have cried so many nights, crying, wishing I would have said more, wishing I would have expressed what was on my heart. Journaling doesn't even help sometimes. I should have breathed, assessed, and say what I was going to say in that moment. In those moments where I didn't say anything, that was like my life passing me by, because that person didn't see me for who I was. I gave them no type of communication or energy to work with to walk away from that interaction, for them to hear how I felt, for them to hear my response. And that's one of the things that really hurt me in life, is not saying what I need to say, or wanting to say it but just not saying it, or going home and being like, man, I should have said that. Like, that really hurts me, and I don't want to have to go through that again. I'm still struggling with this. This is something I'm still struggling with. And I went through a period where I said too much. I would be unhinged, where my throat chakra was overactive. I would offend people. I would just say whatever. And looking back at it, I didn't like that either. I would be like, oh my God, I can't believe I was that unhinged. Like, no wonder, right? So, some things you can help find your voice is to sing, to really breathe, feel your emotions within your body, and then speak how you feel. Keep speaking about how you feel. You should speak about how you feel every day. Another way is to, you could get a job where you have to get in front of people and speak. That would really help you. However, that is hard on your nervous system. If you're not used to speaking in front of people, that expands your energetic container fast, but it is a bit painful if you're not used to that. It feels humiliating sometimes because you're not used to standing in front of people. Having them hear you speak and express yourself, it can be hard. But if you're like a daredevil like me, go all in for it. Get yourself out there. Being on YouTube is good. I would say just record videos of yourself and play it back. If you don't want to share it with other people, put them on private. I have videos on private where I'm saying things that maybe I shouldn't be saying, but that's subjective, what I shouldn't be saying and should be saying, right? So yeah, those are some tips to find your inner voice, and you got to keep fighting. Like, me finding my voice is part of curing my generational trauma, because there's so many women who don't say what they need to be saying, so many women who don't speak up, who have not spoken up in the past. Therefore, it was like passing down the torch to be repressed. No, like, I had to like really learn how to speak, how to use my voice, how to say what I want to say, how to say what I don't want, say what I do want. And what really helped me is being surrounded by people who are really extroverted, people who aren't afraid to speak up. So it feels really good when you say what you need to say, and when you say it in a way where people understand you, where you say it with poise and grace. Sometimes you just gotta cuss people out. Like, I'm still working on this, y'all. Like, I don't know. I hear that. Sometimes you just gotta cuss people out. That is true. That is true. I'm sorry, but it's true. There's some YouTubers out there, femininity coaches, who would say, oh, a lady never curses. Like, I'm sorry, but sometimes you do have to cuss people out. Like, that has been well welcomed within my community, and I am 100% backed by that. That will really help you open your throat chakra. When somebody is just like constantly disrespecting you and you told them you don't like it, and then they keep on doing it, you gotta just unleash the beast within and just let them know. And singing. Singing is great. Singing at the top of your lungs. I've sang so many songs, just belting out emotions. I love it. I do that in the car driving. Feels amazing. And you need to take care of your energy. You need to take care of your energy, because if you have trouble with speaking up, you could be maybe more sensitive, maybe more empathic. If you get around people who try to just like snatch your energy up and use it for themselves by giving you nothing, it can really be hard to speak up around these people, because they might trigger something in you from childhood where you were told not to speak, or maybe you're just like fond of this person, so you're less likely to speak up for yourself. Those are the moments where you need to speak up the most. I just went through a situation like that, and I don't know, it was hard because speaking up took so much energy out of me. And I'm like, okay, you know, speaking to this person takes so much energy out of me. I'm just not going to say anything. But that wasn't the right answer either. I needed to speak up. I needed to express myself. But at the end of the day, saying nothing, giving them nothing was the answer. But when you get that moment to say what you need to say, you need to execute and speak. Okay? Don't hold back. Just speak. You know, you find your power in those moments where it's the hardest to say what you need to say. Those are the moments where you need to unleash your voice, unleash your inner power, and just let it all out. Let it all out. Sometimes you can't care how you come across, especially if it's somebody who's having no regard for you. Just speak up. Let it out. Say what you gotta say. You know, some of us are dealing with years upon years upon years of repression. And people don't understand that. People don't know who they're dealing with all the time. And, you know, like, I saw that in my family. Like, we would have family gatherings, and my family's a bit aggressive, and they keep like poking you until you just like, yeah, when you speak and it's authentic, that really, really, really helps heal your repressed voice and brings out that power to do it more and more and more. And it's so powerful. Once you find your voice, like, you will never go back. You'll never go back to being mute. You'll never let anybody, you know, try to silence you or anything like that. Our voice is so powerful, especially as women, especially as women of color, or anybody, for anybody, any human being. Your voice is powerful. So, yeah, just say what you gotta say and don't hold back. Sing, let it out, scream to the top of your lungs, you know, make videos, broadcast yourself, put yourself out there, make yourself uncomfortable. It'll be worth it.